Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Thank you, everyone. So we've been discussing the series on Bhagavad Gita on the occasion of Gita Jayanti, which is coming after 2 days, 11th December. So we already discussed the two part of Bhagavad Gita. Let me see if anybody remembers. So what was the first section? It was yoga of Karma Yoga, yoga of work. So that was first 6 chapters, and the second middle part of 6 chapters, what is called? Bhakti Yoga, yoga of love.
Love.
And today we'll be going on the last part, which is starting from chapter 13th till end. Krishna Hare Hare. So what it is called? Gyan Yoga. Also we gave some title to this.
Let go.
Yes, yoga of let go. So yoga of work, yoga of love, and yoga of let go, and Gyan Yoga. That is also an important aspect, because there's many things which holds us back in this world. So we should learn this art of certain things as to let go. Right? Can we think of some examples or some ideas? What are those things that we really need to let go in our life? Like, it is not important to hold on to those things. Ego, yes, that's a good answer. Lust. Okay, so they're all same categories, all the bad vices. So it can be lust, anger, greed, and
Grudge.
yes. What is that?
Grudge.
Okay.
Grudge.
Grudging mentality, having
Revenge.
the
Grudge. Yeah.
Yes, that's a good answer. So anybody else? What are the things? Some relationships let go, but to be very specific, the relations which are very toxic. So better to let go those relations. Some people, some relatives, some friends, and when you go, you feel very uncomfortable with those people. So yes, it is better to just maintain a safe distance and very respectfully. Okay. And somebody is saying attachments, very important. Everybody attached to something or other in this world, right? It holds us back. Yes. So some vices, attachments, some relations, grudges, ego. What else? Those who are online, you can put your answers in the chat or maybe unmute yourself. Any other thing? Sorry. Attachment to body. Yes, so we can put that under the category of attachment. Some attachment. It can be body, it can be people, or it can be some things. Yes. What else? Materialistic desires. Yes. And then situations that we can't control. Yes, that is important point, that sometimes the things which is beyond your control, what you will do. If you hold on to all those situations, you'll be keep crying and keep complaining. Right? Yes. Sometimes, or kindness too, as Sri Krishna advised Arjuna. Yes. So we always want to be nice, kind. Yes, that is the general rule, that we should be kind, nice, compassionate. But if Krishna demands sometime not to be kind, then let your kindness also go. Can you think of some practical example where you have to let go your kindness in some real life situation? Very simple. Don't think very complex. Think simple.
Mother-son relation.
Sorry, you're saying something? Okay. So you don't want to give any food or something to beggars. Why? Okay. Okay. So that is your reason. You might be having some reason. Okay. Somebody is saying something here. What are you saying?
Sometimes we don't act in kindness to our son, just to
Yes,
make them
that is a very
understand.
good example. Sometimes mother has to be very happy, and they have to be very strong and just like the kid. Kid might be crying, oh, I want this, I want that. So you have to understand the situation. Not all the time you have to show the kindness. Sometimes you have to be strong just to correct them, teach them. Yes, and somebody is saying that Greediness. Yes, we discussed that greediness. Yes, so many things in our life that we hold on to, and it is important that we learn the art to let them go. Right. One of the things that I think of, some of our conceptions, we have many conceptions, many opinions. So we should not hold on to the opinions. Sometimes we become very judgmental towards others. We create some opinions. So we should be mature enough to let those opinions also go, because the people keep changing. So don't label the people. Oh, this person is like that only. If you see some improvements, some transformation, then let your opinions go. Don't be very strong about your opinions. Like that. So many things. Anyway, so in this part of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is teaching us basically through the knowledge, the Gyan Yoga, is teaching that how to look at the world. Already the essence we already got. Essence is ultimately is that somehow or other, let those things go and get closer to Krishna. The idea is something which is holding us back, coming closer to Krishna, we should let them go. And then the goal of life is to get closer and closer to Krishna. And that is also not some transactional dealing or relations, but it should be more of like the loving devotional service out of love that you want to serve the Krishna. So that essence we already discussed. So in this part, what Krishna is doing is pretty much what we have discussed, some of those concepts already understood. In the previous chapter, Krishna is elaborately describing all those concepts in the chapters. And in the 18 chapters, he will be again summarizing the whole of Bhagavad Gita. And that is why the 18th chapter is like summary of the whole Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so starting from chapter 13, which is probably one of the most difficult chapter of Bhagavad Gita, called Nature, Enjoyer, and the Consciousness and Consciousness. So this is, sometimes people find it very complex. Krishna talks, Arjuna is asking some questions, and he asks basically the 6 questions. What is Kshetra? What is Kshetragya? What is Jnanam, Gyayam, Purusha, Prakriti? Very technical terms. And sometimes people, after reading, they keep scratching their head. What is Kshetra, Kshetragya, Jnanam, Gyayam, Purusha, Prakriti, and all of that. But the beauty of Prabhupada's purpose is, Prabhupada explained in such a layman's language, we can very easily understand those very complex and technical, concepts and subjects. So what is Kshetra? Kshetra is referred to this body. Kshetra Gya. Gya means one who knows this body. Who knows this body? One who is sitting inside the body. That is you. And who are you? You are the soul. We already understood that. So Kshetra is body, Kshetra Gya is the soul. Purusha and Prakriti. Prakriti is this material nature. Purusha is the Supreme Lord. And Jnanam and Gyayam. So Jnanam and Gyayam is something, what is the knowledge, and the object which has to be known. That is Gyayam. So anyway, the idea of this discussion is not to really get into all those technical discussion. But the point is, some key concepts we can take from here, though it is very difficult subject, but we can easily understand that. Some of those concepts we find in Bhagavad Gita, which seems like very inconceivable. You say, what is this going on? What Krishna is trying to explain? So the point is, if we don't understand some of the concepts, and many times people say, Prabhu, we are reading Bhagavad Gita and we are not understanding anything. So I'm just thinking whether I should continue to read Bhagavad Gita or I should stop here. What is the point of reading this? Right. So yes, there are some concepts, there are few ideas which are very inconceivable. But Prabhupada explains, you just keep reading them again and again. And not by yourself all alone all the time, but read in the association under the guidance of more experienced devotees. And again, repeated reading, repeated hearing, asking, inquiring, and then you will see those complex subjects becomes very easy. Right? So some of the concepts are very inconceivable, but in absolute truth, even the inconceivable is also conceivable. Meaning, it is possible. Like, one time some devotees, they were arguing. So what were there are 2 sets of devotees in the temple, and the discussion was little. One set of devotees are saying that Krishna and Balram, they are 2 different personalities. Krishna is Supreme Lord, Balram is expansion, and Krishna is the highest. And then, so that was the idea, that Krishna and Balram, they are 2 personalities. Wherein there is another set of devotees, they are saying, no, Krishna and Balram is same. There's no difference between Krishna and Balaram. So there was a lot of arguments back and forth going. They're giving the reasons, not coming to any conclusion. So they thought how to resolve this. And then Prabhupada came, the temple. They thought, okay, let us go to Prabhupada and talk to Prabhupada. What is Prabhupada's opinion on this? So the devotees goes and then they say that Prabhupada, there's some discussion. So one set of people, we are saying that Krishna and Balaram, they're different personalities. Prabhupada says, yes, that is correct. And then another set of people saying, but Prabhupada, our understanding the Krishna and Balaram is not different. So Prabhupada says, yes, that is also correct. So then the devotee is saying, Prabhupada, how it can be, both the ideas can be correct. Third person said, but how they can be correct and this can be correct. Prabhupada says, you are also correct. So the idea is, in the Supreme Lord, everything is possible. Krishna can be one, Krishna can be different from Balramji. So some of those ideas, sometimes we get stuck, like how to understand that. So we need not to stuck. We have to consult with more experienced devotees, especially the bona fide acharyas like Srila Prabhupada. They'll give the explanation, understand. And if you don't understand, just keep moving. The idea is not to understand each and everything. That is not the idea. Sometimes somebody's approach to read Bhagavad Gita is, I want to understand each and everything, which is a great aspiration, and you want to understand. But don't let that idea to become a hurdle or obstacle in your progression. So the same story, like earlier also I might have shared this story, like, one teacher asked the disciple, then go and get some water in one bucket. And then disciple, by looking at the bucket, he says, it's not possible. It is like there's a lot of holes in the bucket. If I go to the river and try to, fill the water, it will leak. Say, no, but I want you to try this. He goes one time, two times, three times, multiple times. Every time he tries, he comes back, he cannot hold the water. This bucket cannot hold the water. And then finally, he kind of gave up and he said, I already told you in the beginning only that this bucket cannot hold the water because there's a lot of holes. And then Guru smiled and said, now look at this bucket. So this bucket was used to, fill the coal, and it was fully black. So in the course of trying to, fetch water into that, what happens? He could not hold the water. But in the course of doing this bucket became clean. From black, it became white. So that's the idea. So we should be very careful that what I'm trying to do. Many people say, oh, I should be able to remember each and everything what I'm reading in Bhagavad Gita, all the verses, all the concepts. It is like holding the water. We have a lot of leaks. We have our own limitation. Our intelligence is also limited. Our ability to understand is also limited. So these are like different holes. And whatever you hear, our memory is also like in Kali Yuga. What is our memory? We hear in like 1 hour class, at the end of the class, you ask what was the discussion in the beginning. Almost like 50% is gone in the class itself. And once you step out of the class, another 25% is gone. By the time you eat prasadam, maybe just something you carry. What you remember is what was the menu in the prasadam. Right. So anyway, that is the reality. Jokes apart, but this is what is Kali Yuga memories. So we should not get stuck, oh, why I'm not able to remember this and that. It's okay. We should still feel confident in the course of doing all this, listening, hearing, trying to, understand and discuss and ask. I'm getting purified. This bucket from the black, it is getting cleaned. Right. There's another story. I remember that one time this guru asked a disciple to go on top of the mountain, and this big boulder, very heavy. Says, okay, now you should go and move this, push it. So how is it possible? What you're asking that I should push it? It's not possible. He said, no, but I want you to do this. This is my order. So the disciple, as a sincere disciple, he used to go climb on the top of the mountain. Big boulder, he'll go and push with best of his strength. But it was such a big boulder, he couldn't even move it an inch. Every day he was going and doing, trying this way, that way. Nothing worked. And after a few days, then Guru called him. Said, what happened? Were you able to move it? Say, I told you in the beginning only, I cannot move it. It is too heavy. It's a waste of efforts, a waste of time, energy. And then Guru asked him to go in front of the mirror and look at his muscles. And he saw that some muscles were built because he was doing all that hard work. So in the same way, when we try all this, we practice this process, we may not be able to move the things too much, but our spiritual muscles will be built up. Purification will happen, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Cheto Darpan Marjanam Bhav Mahadavagni Nirvapanam. When we start practicing Krishna consciousness in any form, like reading Bhagavad Gita or most importantly, chanting Hare Krishna mantra. So many times people say when we chant Hare Krishna mantra, "No, I'm not able to focus on the mantra. I'm not able to think of Krishna. While I'm chanting Hare Krishna, my mind is wandering here and there, all around." So, Proji, what is the point of doing this kind of chanting? Better not to chant, right? We should understand that the first thing happens is Cheto Dharman Marjanam. The idea is not that you should, from the day one, you should be able to hold your attention on Krishna. It may not happen, but still you are getting benefited in terms of purification of consciousness. Your spiritual muscles are being built up by the process. So we should always remember this. So when we sometimes won't understand all these kind of concepts, then it is fine. We should still continue with a great enthusiasm. We should not, be disappointed that nothing is happening. That is a misconception, right? Also, another important thing that Krishna is bringing in this chapter is many things. Krishna explains actually the 20 items of knowledge. Maybe that requires a complete different session. 13.8 to 12, Krishna mentioned that 20 items: amanitvam, adambitvam, uh, ahimsa, shanti, arjavam. So he says that humility, pridelessness, non-violence, these are the items. This is considered the true knowledge. So we understand from Bhagavad Gita what is knowledge. On the name of knowledge, we are just pursuing so many things, which is not knowledge. So we understand from Bhagavad Gita what is knowledge. And also Krishna brings this another important point. Like, many times people say that, oh, it was easy for Arjuna because Krishna was right there next to him and he could ask some question to Krishna. But in our case, it is very difficult how to ask Krishna. Krishna is far off, sitting somewhere up in the sky. We don't know where it is. So Krishna is bringing another dimension here that I'm not far. I'm sitting right in your heart. That is what is the point that Krishna is saying, that I'm sitting in everyone's heart. The only thing is you should learn the art of listening that voice of Krishna, establishing that connection. Why we are not able to listen to Krishna's voice? Like many times you see that, some people when they fight, they argue, two people. What they do? They stand in front of each other. They shout very loud, scream, shout. Have you ever thought that why they're shouting? They're standing next to each other. They can softly also talk, still they can listen each other. But still they're shouting as if the other person is not listening. Why do they shout? Have you ever thought that? So the understanding is, though they're standing very close to each other, but their hearts are far apart. They're not listening. There's no connection. Wherein there are some cases when the two people, they are in very loving relation. They not to say anything, and still you understand each other, right? So it's all about connection in the heart. So why we are not able to listen Krishna? Because we have got kind of little far apart. Krishna is shouting, "Hey, listen, I am here. Do this, do that." You are not listening. So the idea is Krishna is bringing this understanding that I am sitting right here in your heart. Just work on establishing that connection with me. So Krishna says that I am sitting. So this is 13.16 where Krishna says, Bahirantasya bhutanam acharam charamevacha sukshmatva tad avigyayam durastham chantike chatat. So Krishna is saying, Bahirantasya bhutanam. I'm inside and I'm outside. Outside is there and his inside is also there. Krishna is sitting as very sukshma, Paramatma in our heart. And he's saying, Durastham cha antikeja. I am far also and I am very close to you. So Krishna is bringing those kind of dimensions that we understand. God is not far in our life. God is right there sitting in our heart. The only thing is you have to learn the art of establishing that connection with Krishna. And then you will see that how, the personal guidance we can receive in our life. It's all about establishing the connection. So the whole idea of this Krishna consciousness is that somehow or other we had to get closer and closer to Krishna and establish our connection with Krishna. So these are the kind of dimensions that Krishna is bringing here. And also another very important point that many people ask, why we are here in this material world. So Krishna explained 13.22 says, Karanam guna sangasya sad asad yoni janmasu. Why we come here in this material world? Karanam guna sangasya. So I'll just read that 13.22. So he says, पुरुषः प्रकृतिस्थो हि भुङ्क्ते प्रकृतिजान् गुणान् कारणं गुणसङ्गस्य सत् असत् योनिषु. The living entity in material world thus follows the ways of life, enjoying the three modes of nature. This is due to his association with the material nature. Thus, he meets with good and evil amongst various species. So, the meaning of this verse is why we are here? Because of our desire to enjoy. And then to fulfill those desires, we are all controlled by the three modes of material nature. There are three modes which Krishna will explain. So this is the root cause. Krishna says why we are here in this world, why we are stuck here, because we have some desire to enjoy. And how do you enjoy? How do you fulfill those desires? That Krishna explains in the next chapter. The next chapter is the three modes of material nature. So in this chapter, Krishna says this is the seed for being stuck in this material world. Karanam guna sangashya. And then the seed has to be watered, right? How do you water? So this water is being explained through these three modes of material nature. So this is the next chapter, the 14 chapters. Many times people say, it looks like I'm a bad person. I'm not the right fit for all those things. Yeah, I understand all of those things what you explains, but my understanding is I'm a bad person. I have a lot of bad qualities. This spiritual life is not for me. So Krishna actually resolve this doubt also, that is the spiritual life is only for one set of people, it is not for the bad people. So Krishna brings this understanding, this dimension, that everyone, nobody is bad actually originally. As a soul, as a part and parcel of Krishna, we are all Amsha of Krishna. Nobody is bad constitutionally, but we are all influenced by different modes in this material world. And based on what mode influences us, you act accordingly. So Krishna explained there are three kinds of modes, Satogun, Rajogun, Tamogun. And then under the influence of those different modes, different people act differently. So somebody will be seen as like a very good person. Another person will be looking like a very demonic person. Right? So this is the nature, the modes of material nature. So the whole world is governed under these three modes of material nature in this world. Nobody is free from these three modes. So what Krishna is bringing, the understanding. Another important thing is, in Bhagavad Gita, there are total 700 verses. Interestingly, if you count the verses, the number of verses that Krishna has mentioned all through the Bhagavad Gita, where he's referring to these three modes, is almost close to 100 verses. Now you can understand, somebody takes out the time to talk 100 verses out of 700 verses about one concept, which is the three modes of material nature. You can understand how important topic it is. So Krishna brings here. So in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna first explains that everybody is controlled and influenced by these three modes. And at the end of the chapter, he gives us the remedy, the way out, and how you can transcend the influence of these three modes. So Krishna explains in the chapter that what kind of habits we should have, what kind of association, what kind of food you should eat, what kind of people you should be surrounded by. That will influence that what kind of a person you will be. Right? We all understand that. They say that you tell me your friends, I'll tell who are you. So the man is known by his company. What kind of people you're surrounded. So this is association. What kind of people, what kind of food habits, what kind of places you like to visit. So Krishna explains in detail that the person in Satogun, Rajogun, and Tamogun, like that. So Krishna insists that we should gradually learn and change. See, they say that you cannot control how you begin your life, but you should not stop there. You should continue and you should change how do you end your life. So we are all born in a certain family, certain environment, some kind of the society, and different exposure, and based on that our upbringing. So which was beyond your control. So Krishna, what he is basically referring is, if you learn these concepts, the three modes, and gradually start shifting, gradually start training yourself little by little. The change is sometimes very hard, but it is okay. Slowly you can change. So the start of our life is not in our control, how we begin our life, but we should decide how should I end my life. So somebody is born in not very desirable, favorable circumstances, you don't have control. But we should not end our life in those kind of bad circumstances. We can change. You can always choose your friends, you can choose your habits, your association, everything. And you see that how your consciousness start getting to transform gradually. So that's the whole idea of this chapter that Krishna brings and explains in detail these three modes of material nature, which is compared to like three different colors, right? Satogun, Rajogun, and Tamagun. And everybody is working under the combination of these three different modes. So it is not like that one person is purely working under Satogun, another person is working purely on Rajogun or Tamagun. It's a combination. Like, sometimes you see the people act differently. Sometimes you are very nice. And the same person with the same another friend, sometimes is not so nice. It means we understand that different times, the different modes, the influences. So that is why the Bhagavad Gita actually guides us, educates us that we should take the full advantage of this creation. Like by nature, early morning hours, that by nature it is designed in sattva goodness. And then as the sun rises, then mode of passion rises. And by the evening as sun sets, it is ignorance. Tamoguna is predominant. So we should take the advantage of this knowledge and then plan your day accordingly. Now, what is happening is many times people miss out the most important time of the day, most favorable time of the day, either materially or spiritually. It is very productive time, which is early morning hours. People keep sleeping and they want to work hard in the night till 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. So, no, this important thing, I have to close it and all of that. So, this is time of tamagun. Tamagun means you are not at your best. You cannot be at your best. You are not efficient. You cannot think clearly because you are controlled by a different mode which is not favorable. Right. So we start to shift gradually after getting educated through this kind of concepts. You start changing, shifting slowly and gradually. You say, okay, no business in the night. 9:30 sleep, take nice rest, get up early in the morning, and then spend some time for your spiritual practices, some meditation, chanting, some prayers, and then you do work. Like that, we can gradually shift and become more productive, materially and spiritually also. Right? So Krishna is bringing this kind of concepts here. And also another important thing that we should understand here, that yes, we say that from tamagun we should gradually rise to satogun. But then Krishna is saying, ultimately the goal is go beyond the satogun also. Go beyond the mode of goodness. That is also not something which is very desirable. Like one time when Prabhupada was, traveling with some of his disciples in the car. So there was some construction is going on the road. So, everything was disturbed there. Like you cannot smoothly drive there. So they put one board, and in that board they were saying that sorry for temporary uh, inconvenience and permanent improvement. Like that they put some board. Temporary inconvenience, permanent improvement. And then Prabhupada looked at that board. Prabhupada said this material world is temporary improvement, permanent inconvenience. That is the reality of this world. No matter how well and what you can plan in this world. Like in one time, Prabhupada was talking to some social reformer. They came and they wanted to invite Prabhupada for some program that Swami, you should come and talk about, our cause is something very great. They wanted to do some social service like that. Right. And they said that Swamiji, you should come there and talk and something like that. So Prabhupada was not interested in that. He's a pure devotee. He's interested in pure Krishna consciousness. All the social things are okay at one level, but that is not the real solution of the problems in this world. So then this person left, and then Prabhupada was actually with his disciples saying their idea of making this world better place is a illusory idea. Then Prabhupada gave a very graphic example. Prabhupada says somebody goes in a toilet and puts some scent in the toilet. Just by spraying some scent in the toilet don't become a great place to stay. Still, it is a toilet only. It might be, very fragrant, but still you understand that this is not the place to stay. So in this material world, people think, oh, if we do this, if we do that, ultimately so many things you can do. But this place is not the right place to stay. Ultimately, if there is no connection with the Supreme Lord, then no matter what arrangements you do here in this material world. So the idea is we can definitely try to make the things better in this world, but the goal should be how to come out from this world. Because this material world is compared to the jail, and these different modes are compared to the different, prison cells. So somebody says, okay, this cell is better or that cell is better here because they bound you with some iron shackles, and in that one they'll bound you with maybe gold shackles. So I think that is better. you know. So any thoughtful man, any sane person will say, how does it make difference? When I'm bound by some gold shackles or iron chains. So far I'm in the jail. It is the same situation. Idea is to come out from the jail. So that is what Krishna explains in the end of the chapter. He says, Mam chayabhya vicharena bhakti yogena sevade sagunan samtityedan brahma bhuyaya kalpade. So what Krishna is saying, ultimately you should come out sagunan samtityedan. Go beyond these gunas, beyond the influence of this satogun, rajogun, tamagun, become transcendental. And how to become that? Says Mam chayabhya vicharena bhakti yogena sevade. When we engaged in bhakti yoga. And what kind of bhakti yoga? Says Abhyavacharini bhakti. Abhyavacharini means it's a very, interesting word is used. In the technical word, Abhyavacharini, the literal meaning of Bhyavacharini. Who is Bhyavacharini means, it's a Sanskrit word. Bhyavacharini means the prostitute. That is the literal meaning. Prostitute is she is not chaste. One day with someone, another day another person, third day another person. That is the nature of Bhyavacharini. So what Krishna is saying, what kind of bhakti you should do? Not like Monday this, Tuesday this, I have the whole list. Not that kind of bhakti. Krishna is saying Abhyavacharini bhakti. Completely focused and chaste. Krishna, I'm surrendered to you. That kind of bhakti. And then Krishna is saying that bhakti can take you beyond the influence of these three modes. Right? So we see there is a seed explained. That what is the seed of being stuck here in this material world? Karanam Guna Sanghashan, 13th chapter. 14th chapter explains about the water. You are watering the seeds through these three different modes, right? And then when you water, then the seed becomes a tree. And the tree has been described in the next chapter, which is Purushottam Yoga, Yoga of the Supreme, chapter 15, where Krishna explains. Let me just read the notes, beautiful verse. And this is also a very beautiful chapter, a lot of understanding that we can derive from this. So what Krishna says here, Shri Bhagavana Vacha Urdhamulam Madashakam Ashwatham Brahuravyayam Chandamsi Yasya Paranani Yastam Vedasavedave. So Krishna is actually, giving the information about a tree. And this tree is not ordinary tree, very specially designed. What is the tree? Urdhamulam Adashakha. Mool means the roots. The roots are upside and the shaka, the branches are down. Have you ever seen such a tree? The roots are up, branches are down. What we do is roots are always down and then branches are up. Krishna is saying another tree. So seed is explained in 13 chapters. You're watering the seed through three modes and it is growing into a tree. But tree is a very interesting tree, which is Urdhva Moolam Adashaka. There is a banyan tree which has its roots upward and its branches down, and whose leaves are the Vedic hymns. One who knows this tree is the knower of the Vedas. So anybody knows this tree? If you know the tree, you are the knower of the Vedas. What is this tree? Upside down. So actually Krishna explained this concept here. Prabhupada actually explained this, that you can see this kind of tree in this world. I'll tell you where to find it. It is in Milpitas, in one place. I'll give you the address. Okay, I'm just jokes apart, but this tree is any tree which is next to any water pond. So you see the tree in the water, the reflection. What you will see? Now just imagine that there is a tree and there is a water or maybe some mirror. So water is acting like a mirror here. So when you see the tree in the mirror, in the reflection, you will see this. Or the moolam and the shakan. It will be upside down tree in the reflection. So Krishna is explaining this material world is compared to that reflection of the original tree. Means this material world is the perverted reflection of the original spiritual world, right? And somebody, there is a story that, there was this queen lost on this necklace, diamond necklace, very expensive. Some bird actually, picked it and then flew away. And there was announcement that those who find that, important and very expensive necklace of the queen will be rewarded. So everybody was searching, and this person who was sitting in the, forest, suddenly one day he was walking and he saw something very, shining and reflecting very bright. So he thought, oh, this is something here. So immediately he saw that there's something shining in the water. So he jumped into the water and tried to, grab that the necklace. But how much ever you were trying, you were not able to grab the hold onto this. He was wondering, like, I can see it right here, but I'm still not able to hold on it. He couldn't actually resolve this mystery. And he tried, hours and hours, and then he's figuring out what is this wrong, where it is removing the water and trying and all that. Kind of came out and he was thinking, and then one saintly person came. Said, this is what I'm trying here. Can you help me? So that is very easy. And then he asked him, look up. And then he saw up on the tree, it was hanging on the tree. So that necklace was hanging on the tree. It was just a reflection in the water. But he was trying to catch hold of that reflection in the water. Is it possible ever that they will catch hold of that necklace in the water? In the reflection, you cannot get. You have to go on the original place. So similarly, Krishna is explaining this concept, this material world is compared to the tree, which is the perverted reflection of the original spiritual world. What our soul requires, like happiness and enjoyment and all of those things, that is actually available in the spiritual world. But you are trying to search it into the water in the reflection. And you try this way, that way, whatever way. Money will give me happiness. People will give me happiness. Power will give me happiness. Positions will give me happiness. You keep trying. It is like trying to grab that necklace in the reflection. It will be a futile attempts. It will be failure. So that is the concept that Krishna is bringing here. And then also through this, actually Krishna answers one question. Like many times people say, oh yeah, Bhagavad Gita is nice, and I'm for Bhagavad Gita, and you guys like talk nice things and all of that. But I think it is too philosophical, and I'm little scared if I really get into too much of all this Bhagavad Gita and become too philosophically minded, then probably I lose focus on my ambitions in my life. Right? Sometimes people give this kind of concept, so maybe it is too early for me. I don't want to lose the focus. I still want to, achieve some things, some ambitions and all of that. So what Krishna is bringing an understanding here is Krishna wants us to be successful. Krishna doesn't want that, oh, you become too much Krishna conscious, then you will be failure. Krishna wants us to be successful, but not in the dream, not in the reflection. Krishna wants you to be successful in the real spiritual, substantial, place, which is the spiritual success. All this material success, whatever we get here, it's an illusory success only. For the time being, you think, oh, I've become this, I've become that, I've accumulated this much, that much. At the end of the day, everything will be gone. Is this success? So Krishna is bringing the dimension that if you really want to be successful, try in a different place, not in the reflection, not in the dream, in the real wakeful state. So try to wake yourself up. You're sleeping nicely, and in the dream you say, I become the king, I became this, everybody's coming, saluting me, going down, I'm on the top of the world, and you're feeling so nice. And suddenly you wakes up. Everything is gone. That is what exactly your life is. Everything is like a dream here. And one blow come at the end of the life, and you are awake from that dream. The dream is gone. Whatever you achieved, it's gone. So Krishna is saying that if you really want to be successful, then your success should be spiritual success, which is founded on real substantial knowledge and awareness. Because when we have the right measures of success, then we can fully embrace the endeavor for success and find the true happiness in this world, right? And then contentment in our heart. Otherwise, how much ever you try to achieve in this world, at the end of the day, everything will be gone. So Krishna is basically bringing that, okay, you want to be successful, become successful in a real substantial world, right? So world tells that, you should pursue your dreams. People come and say, come on, start, seeing the dreams. And when you have the dreams and pursue your dreams, yes, it is nice to hear all of that. But what Krishna is saying is that he invites that, explore the wakeful state, which is our spiritual reality, where you are in completely dormant state, sleeping there. So you wake up there, and there's a lot of opportunity for you to explore. So look into that, and that is what will be the real success. So like that. Otherwise, you see in this modern age, a lot of promises have been done, and this modern times, a lot of advertise, and every other day we see this product, that product, fascinating technology, so many things. Now they say now the cars are also becoming like driverless car, all the Tesla and all that. Cars are driverless, technology is wireless, cooking is fireless, people are working tireless. So this is what is the modern times are coming. Very fascinating, right? But everything is like a dream only. So Krishna is saying, yes, it looks very fascinating, but there is another reality to this world, and we should not miss out that reality. What is the reality? Some checks which most of the people, most of us, we never pay attention unless we had to encounter those kind of situations in our life. We never think of all those situations, right? So, like, say some examples. If I ask you the question that any of you here or in your surroundings, we ask you that, is there sufficient arrangement for your dinner today, for your breakfast? How many of you say yes? Yes or no? I think we all feel secure for the food. You not worry about what will happen. This guy is talking for 1 hour. What will happen to my dinner today? None of us are thinking like that, right? If you feel secure for your next meal, you are more fortunate than 2.4 billion people in the world. Meaning that 2.4 billion people, those probably they sleep hungry stomach. They don't have food. There are no means for food. Food insecurity. That is the reality of this modern age. We talk about all this advancement and this, but there is another dark side of this world, right? This is the reality. Like another thing is like, I was talking to some of our youngsters. So I showed them that, can you read this? Like now I'm not sharing my screen, but if I show you something written, one line in the screen, and I ask you that, can you read in English? I think most of you will read, or all of us will read here. If you can read one line, one sentence, whatever language, then you are more fortunate than 206 million people who never got the chance to get the education because of the finances. They cannot afford to go to school. This is also the reality of this material world. It seems like a very great place and all that. So Krishna is actually bringing us to sense. This is illusory world. What seems like a very fascinating, right? Like any of us, have you ever, felt insecure about that some battle is going on, some war is going on? Has any of us been the victim of those kind of situations? There might be someone, sometime in your life. Most of us, we have not done that, right? So if you have not done that, it's better. And they say that you are more fortunate than 500 million people. Those feel insecure because some political, problems are going on. Two countries are fighting. Some instability is there where they live. Feel insecure. Like currently, we see what's going on in Bangladesh and so many other. Like it is not a new thing. Every now and then we keep seeing all this kind of news. So many millions of people, they're insecure, and we are some of those fortunate people. So this is what is the kind of reality of this material world. So Krishna is saying this is not a right place to stay. How much ever you try to make this place a better place, still there is always a dark side. Because this place is the perverted reflection of the original spiritual world. If you really want to experience the true bliss, then Krishna is saying, okay, here I'm inviting you to explore the another reality, which is spiritual world. Krishna gives the description. Na tad bhasyate suryo na shashanko na pavaka yat katva na nivartante tad dhamam paramam mama. He is giving the information. There is world beyond this world. Parastasmastu bhavanyo vyakto vyakto sanatana. That world where everything is permanent. There is no temporariness there. Why people are insecure here? Because everything is temporary. People are temporary. Relations are temporary. We are always feel insecure, scared. Oh, what will happen to my husband, wife, family, old parents? They might go anytime. All that insecurity is constantly there. Krishna is inviting us to another reality, saying, Tad dhamam paramam mama. Everything is eternal there. That is the world that Krishna is offering. And is inviting, come, and is guiding your path forward, and how you can reach that place. Katha Ganam Natyam Gamanapi Vamshi Priya Sakhi. So he said there is a place where Katha Ganam Natyam, every step is a dance. There is a place like that. Nobody walks there. They just dance. Every word is a song. That is the Lord's place. That is what we call Vaikuntha, the Golok Vrindavan with Krishna. Nobody walks there. They dance only all the time. Can you imagine like you're always dancing only? Nobody talks. Nobody fights and argues. They just sing the song. And the place is eternal. Every relation is loving relation. The water is nectar. The words are songs. The steps are dance. Krishna is inviting, okay, you want to explore that world? Please come over. So that is what is Krishna is inviting us to this kind of place in the 15th chapter. And then, so this 15th chapter we are talking about, which is compared to the tree. Now in the tree, you see the upside and the downside, the branches and the bottom. So then you will see that upside and downside, the two different kind of people, and that is the 16th chapter. So those who are sitting on the top of the tree, they are divine people. And those who are at the bottom of the tree, they are demonic people. So the 16th chapter talks about divine and demoniac natures. Why? You will see the people here. Some people are like very divine, very nice, very pure. Some people are like very demonic. All of us we experience, right? When we talk about this, not yes, and then immediately you can think of some people, those who you think that they're very divine people in your life. Maybe just 10 seconds, close your eyes and think of some people. Maybe at least one person. You will see at least one person will be there who is like very divine, or you think is divine. And next question is that think of some people, those who are very demonic. I think list might be a little longer, right? But my question is, why I'm asking this question is, when I ask you to do this, did you think yourself in any of those things? That I am divine or I am demonic? You think about others only. But the reality is, sometimes we also act very demonically. And sometimes we are divine. Right? They say that in different times, this divine and demoniac, the Sura and Asura. So they say in the Satyuga, the divine and demoniac, they were in two different planets, like Hiranyakashipu or Hiranyaksha. He was in some upper planetary system. And then some people who were torturing here, some saintly people and all of that. So that was Satyuga. Then in the Treta Yuga, the divine and demoniac, they're in two different countries. Ravana was in Sri Lanka, another country now. And then Ramji was in Ayodhya, in India. So divine and demonic were in two different countries. In the Dwapar Yuga, this divine and demonic, they were in the same family, Kauravas and the Pandavas, divine and demonic, same family. But in Kali Yuga, interestingly, the divine and demonic, they are in the same person. So when you think of, oh, he's divine, he's demonic, think about yourself first. Sometimes we act very divinely. You're very nice because we all have our high and lows. Sometimes you're very nice with your own people, and sometimes we behave, so demonically. Right. So Krishna is bringing this dimension here. So Krishna talks about the divine qualities and demonic qualities in the 16th chapter. Start mentioning a lot of qualities. We should read all these qualities and we can understand. You can assess yourself that which category I am more falling, divine or demonic. And then gradually start shifting. So it says, Abhayam Tattva Suddhirgyani Yoga Vivastiti Dhanam Damasya Gyasya Swadhyayastapa Arjavam Ahimsa Satyam Makrodhas Tyaga Shantinam Apashunam दया भूतेश लोलुप्त्वं मार्दवं हरिरचापलं तेजक्षमा धृतिर्शौचम् अद्रोहो नातिमानिता भवन्ति सम्पदं दैवीम् abhijatashya bharata. Krishna is saying this is sampadam daivim. This is Daivi Sampada. These are all divine qualities. So, fearlessness, purification of one's existence, cultivation of spiritual knowledge, charity, self control, performance of sacrifice, study of the Vedas. It's a long list. These are all divine qualities. We can understand what is divine qualities. And then demonic qualities. Dambo, Darpo, Abhimanasya, Krodha, Parushamevacha, Agyanam, Chabijatasya, Partha Sampadam, Asurim. This is Asuri Sampada. Dambo, Darpo, Abhimanasya. That arrogance, pride, anger, conceit, harshness, ignorance. These are the kind of qualities which is identified here as demonic qualities. So we have the mix of some divine qualities, some of them, and most of them the demonic qualities. We can understand here. Krishna is bringing this understanding here. And then what is so basically when you read the chapter, the 16th chapter, there is one underlying thread through all these verses. So what is underlying thread if you don't remember everything? There's one thing you should remember. Who is demonic? What is the simple idea of who is a Rakshasi Asuri Pravarti? Asurim Sampada. So who is demonic is who denies the existence of God. Say no, no God. We are smart, we are intelligent, we are educated, we are modern, we know everything, we can figure out the things. And you see, unfortunately, this modern age is all about this. Nobody wants to consult what the scripture says. Says, why you want to limit yourself to one book? They think this is an ordinary book. Now we are smart. We have to go exploring. People explore so many things. And they think these are all great ideas. But most of those great ideas turn out to be unnecessary problem. Right. I keep sharing all the time this in my different discussions. That how these all great ideas. People thought it will change the world, and it changed the world. But much later they realized change for destruction. People thought, the technology will save the time. It's a great idea, definitely. But now we started realizing in this modern age that it is how time consuming it is. And it's a serious concern in this modern age. People are getting addicted, especially the kids, not only just kids, but even the adults. Right? We started talking about this digital intoxication. It's a big subject now. People are figuring out how to come out from this digital intoxication to take care of the kids. Maybe they can play at the backside somewhere. Yeah. So like that, when people they take the God out of the equation, that is when they fall in this category of Asuri. They become demonic people. Right? So and then what kind of thing they do? This is the verse actually Krishna very aptly he identifies here. He says in 16.8, you can read later, the purpose Prabhupada has given nice purpose also. He says, Asatyam apratishthande jagad ahuram ishwaram aparaspara sambhutam kim manyat kamahatukam. They say that this world is unreal, that there is no foundation and that there is no God in control. It is produced of sex desire and has no cause other than lust. This is the demonic philosophy. No God, what are you talking about God? God created the world. God is in control. They say Jagat Ahur Am Ishwaram. There is no Ishwar. This is all these concepts. That is their philosophy. And how dangerous this philosophy is. Somebody says that's okay. Every individual have their own ideas, their own philosophy. So why we should try to impose our philosophy on them? No problem. They can have. But then we should also talk about the consequences of those kind of philosophy. Somebody has this philosophy that there is no God, then what they will do? That is explained in the next verse. It says, Etam drishtim avastabhya nastatmanolpa buddhaya pravanti ugra karmana chayaya jagato hitaha. So following such conclusions, the demonic who are lost to themselves and who have no intelligence engage in unbeneficial, horrible works meant to destroy the world. Because ultimately there's no one in control. Just enjoy. That is their philosophy. Eat, drink, and enjoy the life. After that, nothing. Everything is over. You will not be held responsible. Then they do whimsically whatever they want to do. And what kind of engagements? It is unbeneficial, horrible, which is meant to destroy the world. This is what will happen if somebody follow this kind of philosophy. So these are all demonic people. They want to always go against the nature. They want to exploit the nature. They want to go against the laws of the God. They say, no, we will do the way we want. We don't care about anyone. We can eat whatever, no matter it is some human being also. We can eat the human being also. Animals are already eating, right? If you see in the nature, nature has given everything in abundance. There's no dearth of any supplies. So many varieties of food grains, milk, and so many wonderful foods that can be arranged, right? But now these people, they figured out, oh, we had to eat non-veg. And now we are very smart, very intelligent. We have the technology now. So in a very systematic way, we'll make a big slaughterhouse. And all big mechanized slaughterhouse is being maintained. Very systematically, every day, they're killing millions and millions of innocent animals. This is what they will do. And their philosophy is there's no God in control. They're not fearful. They're not careful. So this is what is happening, and these are all demonic people. So in one line, who is a demon? One who takes God out of the equation is a big demon. Right. So that is why one should be very careful that we understand. And the root cause of all of this is ignorance, ignorance of this knowledge. So that is why it is very important that we have to very systematically impart this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita to everyone. First, to ourselves, you educate yourself, then to your kids, and then if you can influence some of the people, family, relatives, friends in the society, community, this knowledge has to go. Otherwise, we are leading towards that this kind of a situation where everything will be about destruction. Right. So many times people say, "Oh no, but you guys also talking all these big things." But I see that there is corruption, even the religious institutes also. Some Baba, some scam, some institute, some scam, and these are the all unfortunate realities of this, the world. And then they say, I'm just away from all this. I don't want to be. I don't have even interest in temples and all those who are talking about Gita and Bhagavatam and like that. I don't care about even those people also. Now, one very important thing that we should understand how to resolve this kind of misconceptions. Yes, first of all, we should agree. Yes, there might be some corruption even in the religious institutions also. Yes, that is a reality. One should not another try to defend the reality. Accept that. The question should be asked now, is the ignorance not there in any other institutions like the educational institutions, the media houses, the politics, everywhere there is corruption. How do we understand this? How do we make sense of it? Point is very interesting here. You see, the ignorance plus money, ignorance plus money is equal to corruption. Person a lot of money and he's ignorant person. It will lead to corruption only. He will misuse that money and do some bad things. Ignorance plus power. Somebody is power, but his person is ignorant. Then that will lead to dictatorship. Ignorance plus freedom, which is anarchy. Anarchy means there's no system, nothing is in place, right? And ignorance plus religion, that will lead to terrorism or fanaticism. So there are some religion or some institutions, with the name of religion, they spread the terrorism. So what is the common thread? It is not the religion, or it is not the education, it is not the power, it is not freedom. It is the common thread is ignorance, which cause all the problems. So we should work on removing this ignorance, right? So one should not, they say that, in English, they say that don't throw the baby out of the bath water, right? You give the bath and you throw the water, baby is also throw. Don't do that, right? So the point is, whatever has to be thrown, that has to be taken. Like if somebody developed the cataract in the eye, Don't pluck out the eye itself. Work on removing the cataract. Figure out that. So ultimately, the solution is, oh no, 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 I am not interested now. I'm just away. I don't want to be into all any kind of spiritual things. No institution. I don't want to get connected to them and all of that. It's a bogus understanding. Point is, work on the root, and root is ignorance. See that how we can remove the ignorance. And that is what the Bhagavad Gita can do. And Krishna is bringing that understanding here. Okay. So we'll just close in few minutes. So this is the 16th chapter. And then Krishna also in the 7th chapter, he talks about, another understanding. The 17th chapter is also very nice chapter. And Krishna talks a lot about three modes, the divisions of faith. Shraddha, there are different kind of division. So many times people say, no, 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 I'm not an educated person. I don't want to put any faith into anyone or anything. I'm a very scientific person, educated person, very logical person. So I don't want to just put faith into something. I want everything very scientific. Should be able to understand. Right. So I'm not the person of faith. Few people, all spiritual people, they just have some faith in something like that. And spirituality is not scientific. This is a misconception. No, I don't want to have put our faith into anything. Right? People say that faith opposes the knowledge. And what Krishna says is, it's not faith opposes the knowledge, but faith actually builds the knowledge. Because to build the knowledge, you have to have the faith. All of us has gone through this faith. Right? When all of us we fly, right? You travel in the flight, you go to India or anywhere. So before flying, you go and check that who is the pilot today. That then only I'll sit in this, and then I want to know his background, what is his success history or whatever is flying hours and all of that. Do we do that? There you're blindly putting the faith, and you're saying, no, I'm very scientific. I don't put faith into anything. The reality is, in this world, without faith, you cannot function. Everything is faith. Faith builds the knowledge. This is a process. You start with the faith, and then later a revelation. So it's starting with the faith. Like we all went to school or college or university. We are not told that, oh, you're getting into this university, these will be your teachers, and they're so qualified, here is their degree and all that. Now confidently you can come in. Just put faith based on some credits or something like that. And you entered there. So everything works on faith. We go to the doctor. Did you ever try the doctor show me your whatever MBBS degree or whatever something? Then only I'll take the treatment from you. You put the faith. In fact, this is interesting, little funny though. When you go to the barber, put your neck in front of the barber with the scissor, some knife, right? It is faith. How you'll put your neck in front of someone like bow down and you don't know what this guy will do. Can do whatever you want to do. Scissor in hand. And then you're saying, no, 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 I don't have that. I'm not the person of faith. Krishna is saying that different kind of faith in this world. We had to begin with the faith. Trivida bhavati shraddha dehina sa sarvabhaja swabhavaja satviki rajasi cheva tamasi cheti tamshanu. So the same thing Krishna is bringing again, that different kinds of faith, sattvic faith, rajasic faith, tamasic faith. And I have discussed in earlier sessions what is sattvic faith, what is rajasic faith, what is tamasic faith. Just to give you some idea, tamasic faith is, oh, if I eat non-veg, I go drink and do all illicit things, that will make me happy. This is tamasic faith. Rajasic faith is, oh, if I work hard and I make money and make big business and I become the number one, that will make me happy. This is a Rajasic faith. Sattvic faith is, yeah, everything is okay, cool, relax, have nice life, simple life. No, that is Sattvic faith. No too much, passion and all of that. We are happy with whatever God has given. Honestly work, live a simple life, simple living, high thinking, that kind of understanding. This is Sattvic faith. And then there's something beyond all this is transcendental faith, which is Krishna is there. Mare Krishna Rakhe ke, Rakhe Krishna Mare ke. And if Krishna is there to protect me, nobody can harm. And if Krishna decided already something for me, nobody can protect. That is what is the faith. So ultimately, we have to come to that faith, which is the transcendental faith, like that. So, and then Krishna also talks about this very nice concept about the austerity of his speech, which I had discussed in another session. and anudvegakaram vakyam satyam priyam hitam chayat. That how one should talk, how one should speak. Right? There is a 3 filter you should always apply whenever you listen something to protect yourself, to safeguard yourself from a lot of unnecessary confusions in your life. When somebody comes and say, "Hey, I want to tell you something very important," ask 3 questions. What are the 3 questions? Satyam. First of all, what you're going to tell me is truth. Say, no, I'm not sure. I heard from someone, so I want to tell you, but I'm not able to digest. So I want to vomit on you. Most of the people. This is how all this kind of unnecessary presalpa happens. So this is Satyam. And then also you should ask that Priyam. Priyam means what you're going to tell me, it is something good about anyone. Say, no, not necessarily good. I want to, do some chugli, fault finding. That is what we do most of the time. Oh, this person like that person like that. Oh, this temple is like that. They're good, they're bad. Most of our talks are like that. So if it is not good, it is not Satyam, it is not Priyam, it is not truth, it is not nice. And third thing you should ask is, okay, it is beneficial for me. Would I get benefit by hearing that? Say not sure or not necessarily. Then you say, Hare Krishna, I'm not interested. Save your time, energy, and you protect your consciousness. Otherwise, you get contaminated by hearing some negative things and all those kind of. So Krishna talks about that also. So like that, Krishna ends the entire Bhagavad Gita in 17th chapter, and then Krishna still takes a little time to summarize whole Bhagavad Gita into the 18 chapters, which is the summary of the whole Bhagavad Gita. And this is one of the biggest chapter in the Bhagavad Gita. It has 78 verses. So again, Krishna summarized all the concepts, explained them, and then finally Krishna says, okay, if you've forgotten all the 17th chapter, which most of us we forget after reading. Krishna knew this is what will happen. So we need the quick summary and the crux. So Krishna says, no problem. If you've forgotten everything, now listen the most confidential knowledge. Yeah. Param guyatamam guya shunume paramam vaja. Now listen the most confidential knowledge I'm going to reveal to you. And what is that most confidential knowledge? Krishna says towards the end in 18.65 says man mana bhavamad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mam evasham satyam priti jani priyosi. Is the same verse which he already actually mentioned. If you go 9.34, the last verse of the 9th chapter, which is entitled as the most confidential knowledge, and this verse, which is 18.65, same verse. Just last 2 lines are changed. So the first 2 lines are same. Man mana bhav mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. Always think of me, become my devotee. Madhyaji, worship me, and mam namaskuru. Pay your obeisances to me, offer your pranams to me. That is considered the most confidential knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna reveals that, and then he says how to be happy. This is how you can be happy in this material world by knowing this confidential knowledge, becoming the devotee of Krishna, doing some simple things, how to remember. For that, Krishna again came in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he says, I told you 5,000 years back, always remember me. You are still figuring out only for last 5,000 years how to always remember Krishna. Here is ready-made solution. Krishna says, in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he says, chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Every day you start chanting, and this will build up, develop the consciousness, which is Krishna consciousness, that you will always remember Krishna while you are functioning in this material world. Right. So this is the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita. And then when to practice this Bhagavad Gita? Once you get retired, and then you have enough time and all of them. That is when you should. So you should plan that, right? That is how our life goes. People think, see the different phases of life. When we are young, like students or some like youngsters, that time there are 3 things is needed to do anything in life. One is time, one is energy, and one is wealth. So when you are young, probably you have time and you have a lot of energy. I want to do something, but you don't have any wealth. So once I get the job and then I'll get settled down, then I'll do this, I'll do that. That is how you plan. Then once you get into the job and the middle age and then, household life, husband, wife, kids, taking care of their education. So at that time, probably you have some wealth, you have some energy also, but there's no time at that time. You're so consumed by all this taking care of day-to-day affairs. And then comes the retirement stage, last stage. when you have all the time in the world and you have earned a lot of wealth also, but there's no energy to do. So don't wait that I'll do it from tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes. We have to start it from today. So those who have not started reading Bhagavad Gita, those who have not started chanting consistently, seriously, sincerely, this is the high time. Take up this and start doing this. You practice yourself. And then Krishna says another important thing. I'll close with this. Krishna says that you start practicing. First, you start reading Bhagavad Gita. But better than or higher than reading Bhagavad Gita is understand Bhagavad Gita. Not just simply a parrot like reading. Or daily we read something. Also try to understand. And then Krishna goes on saying, but better than understanding, you start living Bhagavad Gita. Start applying. You understand everything. Oh, yeah, Krishna said like that, I understood. Apply that. Start living Bhagavad Gita. And then Krishna says, higher or better than. It's not better, but this is also another aspect that Krishna adds, that share the wisdom of Bhagavad Gita with people around you. Na cha tasman manushyesu kaschin me priya krittamaha. Krishna says, nobody is more dear than one who shares this wisdom of Bhagavad Gita to others. And that is why we are celebrating this Gita Jayanti month. And this month we do a lot of book distribution. Those who have been coming to temple might already know that. We keep promoting, keep encouraging everyone that first you start reading. Many times what happens, they say, oh yeah, book distribution. You distribute the books, but you yourself don't read. So two things should go, and that you should also read and also distribute the books to your friends, your family, colleagues in office, wherever it is possible. That is one of the best service that Krishna says, that one who share this wisdom of Bhagavad Gita becomes very dear to me. So you can pick up your Gita boxes, a lot of boxes for you lying there, and then find the right people. And who is the right person? Every single person you see is the right candidate to receive Bhagavad Gita. So don't judge. Oh, this person I know, he'll never read. You never know. Prabhupada says Bhagavad Gita is like a bomb. You just drop the bomb. When it will blast, you never know. And we have many, many stories. No, now we don't have the time to share those stories. But how somebody received Bhagavad Gita somewhere, sometime, and how it is going, and then somebody got benefited like that. So don't try to judge the people like that. You just do your duty, distribute the Gita, give it as a gift, and whatever way, figure out the different means of sharing the wisdom and becomes very dear to Krishna. So this is the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so I think we'll stop here. We are already running a little out of time. Anyone quick question or any comment? Anybody wants to add something? Okay, somebody's saying here in the chat. Krishna has to surrender, so can we also surrender our daily life situations to him, like difficult work situations, family, relationships, or other which we can not control during a duty also. Sometimes the path ahead is not clear. We are torn between right and wrong. Yes. So when Krishna says surrender everything, you should surrender. Surrender your work, surrender your lifestyle, surrender everything. Harmonize with Krishna. So that is more of like karma yoga, and also do the bhakti yoga also, which is exclusive activities of chanting, reading, hearing, doing some seva in the temple. And then temple is the opportunity which provides innumerable opportunities for everyone to come and do the service. So come, try to take part in some practical devotional service, not just concepts are nice, here very nice in the class and then goes away. Do apply that in the real life situations. So yes, we should definitely do. And then temple is a great boon for any society. The temple which is surrounded, which is centered around service to the Lord, that kind of temple. And that is what is the beauty of Prabhupada's temples. It's not like some place of some rituals and some worship that come and put something in a hundi, and then when Pandit is there, he'll put one tilak. So Hare Krishna liberated already. Not like that. But you have to do some practical devotional service. It can be some simple menial service. Come and some broom and mop and serve some prasadam and then talk to them devotees and talk, discuss, understand, and ask them that what can I do for you guys? How can I engage myself? Spend some time. Prana, Artha, Diya, Vacha, 4 ways that Krishna explained in the Bhagavatam. Give your whole time, energy, everything, if possible. If you think, oh, that is not possible, then give your hard-earned money in the service of Krishna, Artha, some donations for the good cause. book distribution is happening, some new temple project is coming up, some Goshala, so many things keeps happening. That is how Prabhupada has created. Prasadam distribution happen. So for any cause which appeals to you, part some of the portion of your garden. And he said, no, I don't have the money also. Then Diya means intelligence. Use your skills, your abilities. So either your energy or your possessions or your skills, or you say no, nothing. Then Vacha. Vacha means the words. Understand something, share with others. Oh, I heard in Gita class today they are saying chant Hare Krishna. I am chanting, why don't you also chant? That much anybody can do. A small child also can do that. Right. Okay. So I think we'll pause here. We have the next activity lined up already. So we can, anybody got any quick question? Okay. So if there's any question, you can put in the chat. I'll take at the end if time permits. We'll stop here.